Thanks, Joel. In a bid to clean up Eskom, CEO Ruyter's extended lifestyle audits to lower-level staff. The audits started 2 years ago, but looked at only senior managers and their families. Eskom spokesperson Sukanati Manchancha joins us to discuss this. Good morning to you.
Morning, Jay.
Tell us about these audits.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, it started 2 years ago. This was an attempt, and still is an attempt by Eskom to get rid of corrupt and undesirable elements within its workforce. So a few years ago, 2 years ago, the top 2 or 3 levels of management were considered. There were indeed some people who wouldn't have this done to themselves and to their families, and others opted to resign. There were some that did get disciplined as a result of what was found in their circumstances, in their income, where they had undeclared income which may have come from Eskom.
And what are you expecting to find?
We're expecting to find exactly the same again, to root out bad elements within the workforce, where people are actually doing business with the organization, which is quite illegal, and it feeds into the corruption that
I believe that's quite prevalent there.
It is quite prevalent, and yes, so Eskom has been making these attempts to weed out such behavior.
What sort of numbers are we looking at?
We can't say what the numbers are at this moment, but the first batch, there were about 400 general managers that were subjected to this. So obviously, over time, again, that number keeps increasing as you go cascade down the lower levels. There's certainly no limit to the number, but anyone who does have any influence or has the ability to influence, let's say, a tender, however small or big it may be, they will be subjected to this. Anybody who is in a position to actually do some business or approve some contracts.
Those who refuse to get it done on them and their families, what will happen to them, and what departments are the most affected, do you think?
Obviously, the procurement department, which is where all the expenditure happens, it has to be in big focus. So we are not able to say how many people there, but that is a big area of focus. You're asking what happens to people who refuse. There would have to be a discussion with the management team. Certainly, South Africa is a country governed by the rule of law. The Eskom will have to then look at what legal remedies it has available should people decline to either make themselves available, their spouses or children. So Eskom will look at the legal, at whatever legal obligations.
And ask them what it is that they're possibly hiding if they
Absolutely.
don't want to come forward. And then what happens to those? They go to the special investigating unit. I'm just wondering as well, after you answer that, what sort of impact does this have on mood? I should imagine some are celebrating, others not so much.
Certainly, an organization of 46,000 people, there will be all sorts of people there. And of course, if you can get 46,000 people to agree on one thing, then you'd be a genius. The fact of the matter is this is being done for the good of the country and for the good of the company itself. If there is any prima facie evidence that's been found, the first thing to do is disciplinary action against the particular employee, and indeed lay charges with the police. The Special Investigating Unit is quite busy at Eskom with quite a few historical matters, and this will only add to those cases.
All right, well, hope you can clean it up as speedily as possible. Sukanati, thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. Still to come in